Hi students, welcome to the second part of our physics journey. We have already started with physical world and we have seen various introductory concepts in that video. Now today we will continue with chapter 1 physical world. This is the part 2. Hi, I am Abhishek Sharma and let us start the journey. Now in the beginning we will relate physics with other sciences, right? We ended our part 1 with a few basic disciplines which are related to physics. So let us see in slight detail how physics and other sciences are also related. Let us start with maths. It is said that physics is the king of science and then comes the importance of maths. Why mathematics? Because in maths we use calculations, in physics we use those calculations in derivations and obtain various relations. It is very interesting to know that on the age of 23, when Newton was thinking about what is gravitation and he was constantly working upon that concept, he found that mathematics at that time was not so developed that it could calculate the motion of planets and celestial bodies. So before he came out with his law of gravitation, he invented his own mathematics. Right now that mathematics is called calculus. At the age of 23, when college students are studying calculus, when Newton was on the age of 23, he invented calculus that led to the calculations, observations, derivations, and finally we have the law of gravitation. So had Newton not invented calculus, he would not have been able to discover the universal law of gravitation. Moving ahead, chemistry. In physics, we study the structure of atom, radioactivity, X-ray diffractions. Such study has enabled our chemists to arrange elements in the periodic table on the basis of their atomic numbers. Periodic table and elements, you are familiar, we have also studied them in standard 10. That is why you can relate how physics is related to chemistry. So this has further helped to know the nature of valency and chemical bonding and to understand the complex chemical structures. So physics and chemistry also are well related. Moving further, biology, physics in relation to biological sciences. The developments in life sciences are a great deal to physics. You see, I'll give some examples and then you will understand why physics is very important in biology as well. See, optical microscopes are extensively used in study of biology, and that perhaps is a gift of physics. With the help of electron microscope, one can now study the structure of cell. X-rays, neutron diffraction techniques, they have helped in understanding the biologist to study the structure of nucleic acids. And what happens when we understand all the processes occurring in a cell, we understand the life processes. And ending with another example like radioisotopes, they are used in radiation therapy as well. You all know why we are using radiation therapy. You are familiar with the word chemotherapy. So we cure deadly diseases like cancer, right? So these radiation studies are also a gift of physics. Moving on, astronomy. Astronomical telescopes are used to study the motion of planets and heavenly bodies. Radio telescope, they have helped our own scientists to discover pulsars, neutrino stars, black hole, right? And also Hubble telescope, a well-known telescope. By using that telescope, scientists are discovering or seeing the farthest limits of our universe, right? So it is also important in astronomy. Moving ahead, seismology. Right, seismology might be a new word for you, right? It is a study of the movements going inside the earth Basically it is more related to movement of tectonic plates. In geography you might have heard about tectonic plates, right? The crust is divided into 7 plates and they are continuously moving. If they are colliding or sliding over each other, then earthquakes come, right? So the movement of the earth, the motion, the types of waves that are generated, they are very important in studying seismology. Ending with meteorology. By studying variation of pressure, temperature, we can forecast the weather, right? Now weather forecasting is very accurate, right? Even if in case cyclone occurs in Arabian Sea or Bay of Bengal, we can exactly know the time and place when it will collide with the sea coast. That is how we save our lives and properties. So physics, that is why, is helpful in many other sciences. Moving ahead, a very important topic of this chapter, that is physics, technology and society, right? Now while we are going through, while I am explaining you this topic, we will have to focus on 3 main things. What were the problems or what were the condition of ancient human beings in ancient times? You might imagine that as well. I will not be explaining it, but when you studied SS for the first time, then you started with lives of early men, right? How he lived without any resources, how he didn't knew anything about resources and all, and how was the struggle actually in the ancient times, right? Then moving ahead, how new theories came, new laws were made, new rules were made, right? And those studies of theories and laws then gave us the gift of technology, right? And you see, technology is the only reason why there is progress and development in every field right now. Okay, so ancient times, new theories, laws and rules, and progress and development in every field. These things are major concept when you will relate physics, technology with society, right? But we have to take care that when we are inventing new things, it is up to us whether it will be used in good purpose or bad purpose. I'll give you an example, like bomb, right? When bomb was invented or started in utility, we didn't knew that it will be for a very destructive purpose. We didn't knew that it will lead to wars and world wars, right? So it was used for bad purpose, like nuclear energy. Nuclear weapons can also be made and it will create destruction overall in the planet, but nuclear energy can also be used in power production. So it is up to us how we are using the technology. So the use of technology will affect the society. Moving ahead in this topic only, today when we reach any corner of the world, within few hours we can talk to a person sitting at any corner of the world within few seconds. You see, we are using video calling facility now, we are using WhatsApp calling, right? Calling and video calling were very costly in earlier times, but now it is almost free, right? While sitting at home, we can see live telecast of any event or any game. Mostly you see IPL and cricket are seen very much, but they are taking place at other places in the world. See, we can take photographs of our solar system and galaxies. Now all these became possible because of physics. The progress made in transportation vehicles, you see, bullock carts, right? Bicycle, motor car. See, bullock cart was not an invention of physics specifically, but you see there is a wheel in bullock cart. So again, invention of wheel was somehow related to physics only, right? Bullock cart. Cart is a kind of simple machine. So initially we started with bullock cart and now we have reached to bicycle, motor cars, right? You see sports cars having so much of speed. Another examples, spaceships, aeroplane, telegram, telephone, mobile, satellite phones used in communication. You see radio, the old invention, tape recorders, etc. VCD, VCR were the old invention. Right now we are not using. Television right now is used in entertainment purpose, right? Heaters, kerosene, stove, gas stove, microwave ovens. They are some gifts of physics. The use is only possible because of the proper use of laws and theories of physics that we have understood, right? It is physics which has introduced us to radiations, right? Particle accelerators. Then physics have also gave instrument based on ultrasonic and optical fibers, right? Optical fibers, again, if you don't know, optical fibers are the only reason why we have 3G and 4G and 5G facilities, right? So internet speed is increased and developed only because we have optical fibers, right? Ultrasonic you have studied in standard 9, very much useful. X-rays, sonography, ECG, if you see ECG, electrocardiograph, right? Same way we have NMR, that is nuclear magnetic resonance, ESR, electron spin resonance, endoscopy, sonography. These things are only possible because we have physics. Instruments like microscope, electron microscope, atomic force microscope, they have played a vital role. Vital means important role in development of material technology. Also we have new technologies like biotechnology, nanotechnology also. That is the gift of physics. And you would probably not be aware of space technology, right? Rocket, missile, space shuttle, man-made satellite, remote sensing, they are the words in common use. You may also have heard about lasers, radar and microwaves, right? Physics have taught us the technique of achieving very low temperatures. That is known as cryogenics, right? Cryogenics, both are technically related, right? Physics, we can say that it is the mother of subjects like electronics and communication, computer technology, information technology, right? But one has to take care. Again, I am telling that even after this tremendous development, we are still not in a position to say that we have fully understood the nature, right? Many problems are still unresolved for physicists. They are like mysteries. So that is the challenge for you people. Now let us start with the main topic of this chapter, that is fundamental forces in nature, right? All the scientists, they did different inventions, they made different laws of motion, gravity, etc., etc., and then new inventions and concepts were developed daily, almost daily in 18th and 19th century. But then again, all the scientists believe that whatsoever concepts are there, they are related to some specific forces, and they name those forces as fundamental forces of nature, right? Those four fundamental forces of nature are, namely, right now I have written the first one, that is gravity, right? And others I have put question mark, but I will be telling it. First is gravitational force, second is electromagnetic force, third and fourth are nuclear forces. They are applied at a very small level, but the names are strong nuclear force and weak nuclear force. So basically today we will try to see what is gravitational force. Now in standard 9th you have studied a chapter of gravitational force, right? And so I assume that you have some basic knowledge about gravitational force. Now few points related to gravitational force. You can see we have also a figure in which you can see two objects, one blue and other one green. So let us assume that there are two objects, and F1, F2 are the forces of attraction, right? As what is gravitational force? It is the force of mutual attraction between two bodies, and that force is by virtue of their masses, right? So gravitational force is directly related to the masses of the bodies, right? We also have a formula related to that, F1 F2, that is gravitational force is equal to G into m1 into m2 upon r square. Now not going into detail again, what is capital G? It is a constant. M1 is mass of first object, m2 is mass of second object, upon r square. R is the distance of the centers of those two objects, right? These two objects can be anything, right? Anything. For example, you are sitting in your room, okay? So you consider yourself as an object. So your mass is m1, and you might have a fan in the room, right? So that is m2. So there is a mutual attraction force between you and the fan, right? That is nothing but gravitational force. What is gravitational force? It is the force of attraction between any two objects, right? If you want to calculate, you just have the values of G, m1 and m2 and r square, and then you can calculate actually what is the gravitational force between you and the fan, right? So it is called a universal force. Why universal force? Just now as I gave an example that gravitational force may be acting between you and any object, so it is acting between any two objects in this whole universe, right? That is why we call gravitational force as universal force. Every object in this universe attracts every other object in this universe. But why every objects are not being attracted towards each other if there is an attractive force, right? There might be a question arising that why all the objects are not being attracted, because gravitational force is the weakest force, right? That is why they are not attracted. It is a long range force. As it is a universal force, it can act between any two objects in the universe. So you see the distance, right? So if we ask about range, it is a long range force. It does not require any kind of medium, right? It doesn't, like sound waves require air as a medium, right, to travel, okay? But gravitational force do not require any kind of medium. Next point is, compared with other fundamental forces, which were the fundamental forces? Gravitational force, electromagnetic force, strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force. These four fundamental forces. So out of these four, gravitational force is the weakest force in this universe, right? And it acts along the line joining the center of objects. So if you want to know in which direction exactly gravitational force is being acted, you just draw the line, right? Right now in this figure we have a small line near F1, the blue one, and small line near F2. So you just join those two, exactly on that path gravitational force will be acting, right? Few common observations or examples, if I can say, we can see or observe nearby that is related to gravitational force. You see, we are able to stand and walk on the earth. Any living object is able to stand or walk on the earth, that is only due to gravity. Any object which is thrown up comes down due to gravity. Atmosphere, you see, atmosphere is there on earth only due to gravity because it is attracting, okay? Tides and ebbs. On a full moon day there is tide, right? Tide, not that washing powder. Tide, that we say the wavy motion of the oceans, right? So the motion of celestial bodies, tides, ebbs, motion of planets around the sun, moon around the planet, comets, asteroids, etc. All these are governed by gravitational force. Even scientists believe that formation of universe, evolution of stars are also related to the force of gravity, right? So gravitational force is very important. So 6-7 points are the main points and few other examples. That is all about gravitational force, right? Now I feel that part 2 video must end over here, right? And before we end the video, I have some writing work for you. In the first video we have skipped the writing work as it was the first introductory video. Now combining the works of and topics of those two videos, this one and the previous one, I have given you 5 questions related to this. Now your first question is, define science, what are its major three parts? Physics, chemistry, bio. You will write about that. Next question, define physics, name of some major disciplines. Write the last part of the first video. You will get the answer. Write in short about two major domains of physics. Which were they? Macroscopic, that was higher level, and microscopic, that was smaller level. Write about in 10 sentences how physics is helpful to our society. Right? So this was discussed just now. So you have to write at least 10. More you can also write, but you have to relate physics with the society. And last question is, write point wise about gravitational force, minimum 5-6 points. Right? So if you have seen the video very well, you are easily able to write this answer.